Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Kate's Fashion Flips. In today's video, we're gonna go through 1 week of sales that I made as a part-time online reseller in the end of October towards the beginning of November, November 1st. So it's October 26th through November 1st are the sales dates that we're gonna be talking about. Poshmark finally picked up a little bit. I have been talking about in past videos how Poshmark has been kind of slow, but this week that we're going to talk about is actually pretty fruitful, so I'm excited about that. And eBay was really good. I had 0 Depop sales though, and I attribute that to the fact that I got that 1-star review, and it's the top review now on my reviews. So even though I still have like a 4.4 review seller rating on Depop, that's my most recent review. And so anyone who goes to see my reviews is going to see that 1-star review. And I feel like that is definitely hurting my Depop sales, unfortunately. But let's dive in to my sales. And first, we'll quickly talk about PrimeLister because there is a new feature that I'm really excited to talk to you guys about.
All right, guys, let's get into my sales. But quickly before we do, I wanted to take a moment to talk about the Poshmark automation tool that I use, PrimeLister. I have mentioned them before here on my channel, but the reason I'm bringing them up today is they have 2 new automations that are a game changer. Like I literally turned one on today, and immediately after I turned it on, I made 2 more sales, and that was after Poshmark being completely dormant. So needless to say, I'm pretty excited. But essentially, Poshmark recently changed their algorithm. So when someone searched for something in the search bar, it would pull up items that were either newly listed or newly relisted. But now Poshmark has changed the algorithm to relevancy. And so when someone searches for something in the search bar and they, say flats or use a different kind of keyword like style or color, it will pull up more based on relevancy. And a lot of people have seen a decrease in sales since this Poshmark algorithm change. But these 2 new automations here on PrimeLister are a game changer. I'm just going to read what PrimeLister says about them because I cannot put it as eloquently as they can. So the first new automation is called Smart Activity, and that's the one I turned on today. And the problem this solves is Poshmark's new algorithm favors active sellers. Just sharing your closet isn't enough anymore to signal you're an engaged top-tier seller. And so PrimeLister's solution is that this automation works 24/7 in the background to signal to Poshmark that your account is active and thriving. And then under Smart Activity, there are 3 sub-automations. So I'll read the 3 sub-automations real quickly. And I love that there's an automation within an automation, all these extra features. So the first one is Auto Activity, which simulates regular logins and engagement throughout the day. This keeps your account active and favored by the algorithm, improving your seller status and last active stats. And then the second sub-automation is Auto List New Items. And this creates and lists AI-generated placeholder items to simulate fresh inventory activity, because daily new listings signal to Poshmark that your closet is growing and it boosts visibility. And then the third sub-automation under Smart Activity is Auto Refresh Listings. And this automatically refreshes old listings to give them a fresh timestamp, boosting their visibility. And the difference is that you don't have to relist your items, right? It does this without relisting the items, so you keep all your likes and social proof, which is awesome, right? When I see that PrimeLister relisted an item in my closet, I'm sad because all the likes are gone. And then the second new automation that PrimeLister has is called Enhance Listing. And so the problem this solves is Poshmark's search now defaults to relevance, which I was talking about earlier, and not just shared. This means listings with weak or missing data like no brand, unselected colors, or a bad title get buried. And the PrimeLister solution is, this is like your personal SEO assistant. It finds all your weak listings and helps you fix them in bulk so you can rank higher in the relevance search. Key features for this second automation is the needs enhancement filter. It automatically analyzes and filters your entire closet to find listings that are hurting your search rank. And then there's the bulk action, which instead of spending hours or days manually editing, you can optimize hundreds of listings in just a few clicks. This is a huge time saver, that directly impacts visibility and sales. So those are kind of a short explanation of the two new automations that PrimeLister has. And these are free add-ons. I feel like other subscription services, Poshmark automation tools, they charge for every extra add-on, but this comes in the already monthly price. So you don't have to pay extra, and it's awesome. So definitely check out PrimeLister if you are interested, or you feel like you haven't been making Poshmark sales and you want to try a new Poshmark automation tool, or you don't have a Poshmark automation tool yet. PrimeLister is for you. I will have an affiliate link in the description. With that being said, let's dive into my sales, where I have 1 on Mercari and 0 on Depop. So we'll quickly cruise through those two, and then we'll skip on to Poshmark and eBay, which I actually had a ton of sales on Poshmark. And then this week, I feel like I was kind of hurting a little bit. And the new features on PrimeLister fix that. So with Mercari, we have this Earth Spirit tan cushioned Velcro outdoor granola girl fisherman sandals size 9. In my description, I put the keywords casual, summer, comfy, supportive, arch support, and beach. I paid $4 for these at the Goodwill outlet a long time ago, and I put them away in my inventory on a shoe rack. And I walked past them a few times and I thought, you know what? I don't think I have those listed, which is very odd, right? All the things in my inventory should be listed. And so I checked, it was not listed. So I listed it for $25. And within 19 days, it sold for an offer of $20, which is really, really good, making my profit $14. I wish I had listed these sooner. And it's kind of surprising that these sold now that it is wintertime, but I just sold a swimsuit today. So people are still buying. I mean, I was just in Florida a couple of weeks ago and it was sweltering. But anyway, Earth Spirit is a brand that I don't really look out for, but I have picked it up a few times at the Goodwill outlet just because the Goodwill outlet is so cheap. And these shoes were also just very stylish and cute. I could put the keyword granola girl, which is a great keyword, and also fisherman core, I feel like was trendy during the summer. I'm not sure if it's still trendy, but it is definitely another good keyword that I feel like helped sell these. I was just surprised they sold on Mercari. Random stuff sells on Mercari at random times. I honestly could not give you Mercari tips because it's just a random platform. I can't make sense of it. But let's move on now to Poshmark, where I sold these Vionic Tan Brown Cheetah Sparkle Small Heel Bow Ortho Heel Ballet Flats size 6.5. In my description, I put the keywords ballet core, kid core. Not sure why I put kid core. Anyway, I put arch support, comfortable, flexible, everyday, teacher, twee, coquette, girly, and feminine. When it comes to shoes that are like comfy shoes or comfy, known for having supportive, comfy shoes like Vionic and Dansko, I look to put as many like keywords that are relevant to that as possible. So for these, I put arch support, comfortable, flexible, everyday, right? Good keywords for comfort shoe brands. I paid $2 for these at the Goodwill outlet, and they took a very long time to sell, but they finally sold for $28, making my profit $20.40, which is not bad. We love a profit that is $20 or more, but this did take 425 days to sell. Usually Vionic sells faster for me, but maybe the cheetah print hindered it from selling. Not really sure, but most of my Vionic that I have had in my closet in the past is like gone because it sells within 90 days for me. Because Vionic, it's pretty easy to find at the thrift store, but it does retail for a lot. And if it's in good condition, it retains its value pretty well. This next sale on Poshmark is this Maeve Anthropology bright yellow, chunky oversized v-neck sweater size small. In my description, I put the keywords cute winter outdoor, school thick closet staple, wardrobe basic, and casual. I paid up for this sweater, $9.50 at Savers, but I loved the color and I love selling Maeve. It's like one of my favorite Anthropology brands. It always sells well for me. Not always the fastest, But this one sold really quickly. So it sold for my full asking price of $35, which I was stoked about. That makes my profit $18.50, and this only took 25 days to sell. I got this great model picture, and then, yeah, I just hung it up on a hanger. I feel like my pictures were really good. When it comes to pictures that I take for my listings, I feel like the more zoomed out ones, they always appear darker, but the ones that I have more zoomed in are like lighter, which is weird because the more close-up pictures are farther away from the lights. But anyway, that is how it works, and really happy that this sold. I remember this trip to Savers, I was like kind of unhappy that I spended up for most of my items, that I like paid more than I would usually pay, but glad that that one pickup paid off. Next sale is actually a blanket. I don't sell a lot of blankets, but I do pick them up occasionally from the Goodwill outlet. This is a Minky Couture white rainbows starts. Oh, I meant to put star. Just dang it, it says starts. Anyway, soft luxury baby blanket, 30.5 by 36 inches. And then looks like I didn't put any other keywords. I did mention that there was this tiny brown mark. I thought it was like a poo stain because, it's a baby blanket. But it like kind of blends in with the colorway of the blanket. And so I listed this for $35 because Minky Couture retails for a lot. Not sure how much their baby blankets retail for. I got a $20 offer, which was a lot lower than I wanted. I countered with 25 and they countered back to 20. And I was just like, you know what? I want to make sales on Poshmark, want to keep the sales moving, and I paid a low cost of good for this. So I did accept that $20 offer, paid for at the Goodwill outlet, sold for $20, making my profit $12. So not bad. This did take 123 days to list, but easy list, very easy list. And I could flat lay it, and since it was small, it fit in like the same space a t-shirt flat lay would. Next sale is not a clothing item, but I wanted to mention it because it's cool to see what sells on platforms like Poshmark and eBay that are kind of like obscure. So this is new motif white breast milk storage bags, count 265, nursing, baby, feeding. And then in my keywords, I put for baby shower, and baby supplies. I actually got these when I was pregnant with my second daughter. Through insurance, you can get like a free breast pump and a few other free stuff, but not everyone has insurance, right? And also some women have a huge milk supply. And so even if a person got free breastfeeding bags from their insurance, they might need more because their supply is so big. So I just listed these because they were sitting in my closet and I wasn't pumping or breastfeeding. And so I just listed them for 20. I think I had them originally listed for 25 and I dropped the price to 20. And then when PrimeLister, shout out, sent out the discount that I set, they sold for $17. So my cost of goods was $0, like I said, and that makes my profit $13.60. These did take 294 days though to sell, which is a very long time, but I had no cost of goods into them, and they would have been sitting in my house anyway because sometimes I save baby stuff for a possible future baby. So they would have been sitting in my house anyway. So glad to have the money in my pocket and them gone. This next shirt is from the brand Bulwark. It's this Bulwark protective apparel, tan fire resistant uniform button-up shirt, size 2XL. In my description, I put the keywords work, career, durable, and versatile. I paid $3 for this shirt at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for $25. I think I had it listed for $30 maybe, or maybe that was my full asking price, but still very happy with that sales price. Good bread and butter. That makes my profit $17, and this only took 16 days to sell. Fire resistant apparel adds resale value to an item, and the sell-through rate and average sale price for Bulwark fire-resistant shirts on eBay was really good, so I had to pick this up, especially from the bins. And then I got this great stock photo, which is like an invisible person is wearing the shirt. But yeah, I would definitely pick that up again. I always keep an eye out for FR, which stands for fire resistant, because like I said, it adds a value. Next sale is low dollar. Okay, very, very low dollar. I didn't make very much money on this sale, but I was really in the mindset of keeping sales moving on Poshmark this particular week because the week before sales were horrendous. So this is the North Face men's blue third zip fleece outdoor sporty pullover jacket size large. In my description, I put the keywords layering soft, casual, neutral, fitness, athleisure, hiking, and camping. I paid $4 for this at the Goodwill outlet, and I think I listed it for like $25, and I got a $12 offer, and I was like, what is this person doing? But then I just accepted it because I didn't want to counter and not make the sale. And I had just listed this piece. And so I'm like, you know what? $12. You were bold. You can have it. And so that makes my profit $5.05. And this only took 11 days to sell. And the North Face is usually a very slow mover for me. And so I was happy to accept a lower offer to get this in and out of my closet, and I made a $5 profit. Next sale is this Patagonia red half zip fleece outdoor hiking R1 flash pullover jacket size small. In my description, I put the keywords layering, fall, grunge, camping, nature, casual, and trail. When it comes to Patagonia, I don't find it very often. Their pants or like their leggings and their shorts, in my experience, don't do well. I feel like what does well in Patagonia is like really their jackets and coats. That's what they're known for. Oh, and maybe like backpacks and bags and such. But I have not had luck in like other categories. But I paid $5 for this. It sold for an offer of $25. Actually, I think that was my full asking price. So I was very happy with that. That makes me profit $15. This took 130 days, but I listed it more in warmer weather, so it makes sense that it sold now. Then we have this cool brown thick turtleneck outdoor ribbed mini sienna sweater dress size large. I have a paragraph here from Cool's website, and then for my own personal keywords, I put outdoor travel, hiking, camping, winter, warm, layering, and fall. All the keywords, right? I have always tried to put a lot of keywords for Poshmark for the algorithm, but now with PrimeLister's new automation tool or PrimeLister's new smart tool, you don't have to have like all the keywords, but I'm still going to put keywords, because I want all the good things going for me. So I paid $3 for this dress at a yard sale, and it sold for $27, which I was very happy with, making my profit $18.60. This took 64 days to sell, so not too bad at all. This dress didn't have like excellent material makeup or anything. I think it was just like polyester and nylon or something, but very happy with that sale. I don't find Cool a whole lot either, but it is a really good bread and butter brand. Next, we have another Maeve Anthropologie sale. And this dress didn't sell for a lot. It's this Maeve multicolor chevron 3/4 sleeve stretchy feminine summer maxi dress size extra small. Usually with Maeve, I'll put Maeve Anthropologie to specify, but looks like here I just put Maeve. In my description, I put the keywords modest, boho, bohemian, and casual. I've mentioned this in previous What Sold videos, but I always try to put the keywords boho and bohemian together. So if an item is boho or bohemian vibes, I'll put both because I don't know what somebody's going to search. So I did kind of pay up for this dress. I paid $9. This one thrift store that I go to, they either have their dresses priced at like $7 or $9, and $9 is a bit too much for me. I'm more willing to pay like $7, but not $9. So I got a $15 offer, and since this dress had no interest, I did accept that, which makes my profit only $3. But this had been listed for 182 days, was ready to move this piece, and it was also a really bad size. It was an extra small petite. So happy with the offer, was excited to see it go, and it's also kind of a dated style. Chevron was really big, I feel like 10 years ago, and now it's just not in. We're going to skip over this Cozy Earth sale because I have talked about Cozy Earth a lot in my past What Sold videos, and we're going to talk about this Land's End gray chunky cable knit button-up warm cardigan sweater size 2X. In my description, I put the keywords: casual, neutral, outdoor winter, layering quality, breathable, front pockets, and cozy. I like to put the keyword breathable, even if an item is thick, if it's made of cotton, because cotton is a breathable fabric. I paid $6 for this cardigan. It sold for $25, which is about what I was expecting it to sell for, making my profit $14. This did take 277 days to sell, but I did list it towards the end of the winter season earlier this year. The reason I picked this up is because Land's End is like an okay-ish brand. It has to have the right factors. And this was a size 2X, so really good size. It was cable knit, so that was another good factor. It was a neutral color and just really high quality and nice. So I bought it and really happy with the sale. Last sale we're going to talk about here on Poshmark is a pair of Tevas. And I've actually sold this exact style before in this exact colorway. Like a couple months ago, I picked up, I can't remember where I got these ones, but I don't know. This must be a really popular style. I actually saw my cousin wearing this exact Teva style in a blue colorway at a birthday party like a month or two ago, and I almost said, "Hey, I've resold that pair of Tevas before." So it must be like a popular style because these sold pretty quickly. This is a pair of Teva gray outdoor grunge camping strappy summer Tira hiking sandals, size 9.5. I think it might be Sierra instead of Tira. I think I might have spelled that incorrectly. But anyway, I put the keywords travel, versatile, and gorp core. Didn't put a lot of keywords because I feel like the item sells itself. And I also had this huge paragraph, which must have got from somewhere. I like to steal paragraphs from other websites that are selling the same piece or have sold the same piece. It's not plagiarism. I mean, I'm not claiming it as my own work, right? I'm just trying to sell a piece. So I don't think that that is plagiarism. But paid $4 for these sandals, sold for 23. I only had them listed for 28. So I think 23 was an offer that I got, making my profit $14.40. And this only took 47 days, which is relatively quick for me. Like that might be like a long sale haul or a long haul sale for some people, but for me that's like amazing. All right, skipping on over now to eBay, where I did have more sales on Poshmark than this week. I always have more eBay sales on Poshmark nowadays, just because with eBay I am constantly ending listings and clicking sell similar, and so that is like making it appear like I'm listing so many items per day, and I think that's why I make so many sales on eBay. We're only going to talk about certain sales though on eBay because I don't want to make this video super long, and I feel like not every sale is worth talking about. So this first sale is this Madewell yellow crushed velvet mock neck bow party mini dress, size medium. In my description, I put the keywords holiday, party, New Year's, Christmas, going out, and glam. I paid $4.50 for this dress at an Uptown Cheapskate consignment store discount sale. And it sold for $28, which was an offer that I sent out, making my profit $16.78. And this took 101 days to sell. LOL days. It looks like LOL on my notes here. Madewell is a brand that really doesn't sell. Like it's expensive. It's a brand I didn't even know about before I started reselling because I would never shop at Madewell just based on their prices. But then I went into a Madewell after I had started reselling with my mom, and I was just gasped at the prices of Madewell. The only things I really buy in Madewell now are like wide leg or flare leg jeans or pants from Madewell, or their dresses if I can get them for a cheap price. And for this dress, I could put keywords like, holiday, New Year's, and stuff like this is definitely going to start selling for the holidays and stuff. I recently, I think it was like a month ago, I bought myself a dark green Gap fitted sweater dress. And yeah, dressing up for the holidays is really fun. And I think that's why, we have an influx of sales or event wear selling in our reselling business around this time. So next sale is from the brand Margaret O'Leary. brown black elbow patches, chunky knit, thick sweater, size large. In my description, I put the keywords: casual, preppy, college, teacher, old money, winter, and fall. I could not find a size tag on this, so I just listed it as a size large and then said, hey, please refer to measurements. There was also this one area of kind of separation. I had never heard of the brand Margaret O'Leary before. I found this piece at the bins, and Margaret O'Leary mainly sells women's clothing, but they, I think in the past, have sold men's clothing. This was a pretty heavyweight sweater. I paid $8 at the bins about, and I had it listed for $45, but because of the tiny flaw, and since I've had it for kind of a while, I accepted a $25 offer, making my profit $11, and this took 137 days. I have not come across Margaret O'Leary since this pickup, so it must be like a pretty rare brand to find. Next sale is a pretty good bins flip. This is a Alaskan Hardgear Duluth Trading Co. blue outdoor pullover, 4th zip jacket, size 3XL. In my description, I put the keywords athleisure, hiking, camping, casual, fitness, and layering. I paid, I don't know why I put $5. Maybe like I had a loss this day, but I got it at the bins, so it probably like cost me $3, and then I might have had to take a loss, and so I put my cost of goods as $5. And it sold for an offer of $20, although I had it listed for $30. I was really excited for the quick flip. So my profit is $10.20, and this only took 10 days to sell. I remember seeing this piece in the bins, and I saw the Alaskan Hardgear Duluth Trading Co., and I didn't know Alaskan Hardgear. I didn't know the specific collection. And when I don't know a brand, I look it up because, it could be worth money. Unless I'm pretty sure, unless I'm like 95% sure the brand isn't worth anything. So I looked this specific brand up, and certain pieces from Duluth Trading Company also can do well. And the sell-through rate was actually pretty good for pieces like this. And it was also a size 3XL. So excellent size, 10 days to sell, if I didn't already mention that. And yeah, happy with the quick flip. We have another Patagonia sale. Or first, we have this tie, which I wanted to talk about because I have a lot of ties listed and I don't really sell a lot of ties. Actually, one of my most watched videos here on YouTube is a video of me talking about tie brands, and I need to go back and watch that video myself because I can't remember most of the brands I mentioned in that video. But some ties from certain brands can go for a lot of money. But I just like to pick up 100% silk cool ties from the bins because they're super cheap. And so even if I sell them for like $5 to $15, I'm still making a profit. So this is a Yule tie greetings, kind of a play on words there. Red, white, snow, Christmas penguins, 100% silk, Hallmark tie. In my description, I put the keywords Christmas presents, ornaments, festival, party, and holiday. I paid $2 for this tie, which I must have taken a loss. And what I mean by taking a loss is sometimes I get home from the bins and I find a piece that is beyond repair and I throw it away, and then I add that cost of goods to a different piece. And then sometimes I just round up just in case. So I probably paid 50 cents for this in reality, but I put $2 on my Google Sheets sheet, and it sold for $8, which I think was my full asking price after being reduced. And so that makes my profit $4.08. Woohoo! And this took 330 days to sell, but it made sense why it sold now. I just loved how quirky and fun it was. And when it comes to ties I pick up from the Goodwill outlet, I only pick up 100% silk ties just because polyester is, polyester is just the devil in my opinion. Especially when there's a ton of silk ties out there. But yeah, I think I would pick this up again, honestly. It's a fun tie and it took up literally the tiniest amount of space in my inventory. So now jumping over to this Patagonia. It's funny, I sold basically all the Patagonia I have in my closet in a 2-day time frame. So it's kind of funny. But this is a Patagonia blue organic cotton quilted snap tee outdoor pullover size medium. In my description, I put the keywords hiking, camping, trail, fall, layering, and casual. This is like a slight tear on one of the shoulders, but it was just on the very outmost layer, like a very thin layer of fabric. So really it was still intact. I thought this sweater was so cute. I was really tempted to keep it, but I did sell it because I don't know, I have a lot of jackets already and I'm not really like a pullover kind of person. I'm either a sweater or a jacket person. I'm not really into like pullovers. But I paid $5 for this at the Goodwill outlet, sold for $28, making my profit $16.28. And this took 28 days. Coming up, you guys, we have a shoe bolo brand. I actually sold it for the lower end of comps for a quicker flip, but this brand of shoes and this style can sell for like upwards of 75, 90. I saw comps with those price tags. So this is a Charix. I probably am saying that wrong. Charix, excuse me, camel brown leather, cognac slip-on, neutral artisan flats, size 11. In my description, I put the keywords preppy, old money, and minimalist. And then I also had some paragraph information directly from Charix's website. Paid $8 for these. I actually found them in the men's section at the thrift store, and they stood out to me because they were very minimalist. You could tell that they were high quality. And they sold for an offer of $45. You can see I had them listed for $70, and I probably could have gotten $70 or closer to $70 had I held out. I'd like a quick flip. So I'm just like, we're going to accept $45. And that makes my profit $26.20, and these took 22 days to sell. There are like these pad things you can put on the heel area to make flats more comfortable, and so there were two of those, and the sticky part of the back of them was so hard to get off. I spent like so much time trying to peel off the sticky part from off of the back of these on the ankle area, but I did. That might have made it so they sold for less, but they were also a size 11, which is a pretty large woman's size. So that could have also hindered the price. I mean, like I said, they only took 22 days to sell. So had I held out, but I just really like a quick flip, like boom, boom. We have this other Patagonia sale. Like I was saying, I sold all my Patagonia at once, but I didn't feel like talking about that piece. We're going to skip on over to these Paige jeans. This is a pair of Paige pink Maisley ankle straight leg stretchy comfy casual, which I misspelled, jeans, size 32. In my description, I put the keywords school, teacher, closet staple, and wardrobe basic. I got this from Uptown Cheapskate for $7, and it sold for an offer of $24, making my profit $11.24. These took 83 days to sell, which is, 90 before the 90-day mark, so pretty good. Paige is a brand I don't usually pick up ever. Like I've been seeing a lot of Paige at the thrift stores, and I just pass it because it just doesn't resell well. If it was a good leg style, I might pick it up. This was not a good leg style. They were straight leg, which is so-so, but they were also pink, which I don't know how trendy pink pants are. The main reason I got these was because they were a size 32 and because they were new with tags. And when something is new with tags in a good brand, it automatically increases value. So happy with this sale. We're going to skip over this one sale that I was going to talk about because I'm going to have to talk about it later when it sells again because it's getting returned to me. It's just a jacket from Exhilaration, which I picked up for style-based reasons. But anyway, for some reason, I must have had I think I had it in my preferences for my returns, free shipping on pieces where the item was not as described. And so I had to pay like $9 for the shipping back, which sucked. I recently, today, I just turned off returns altogether. I'm just like, I feel like I'm going to make sales without returns. And what do you know? I made like a sale right after I did that. So, but the person's like, not as described. And I was like, okay, I put measurements, first of all. So did you measure yourself? They said it was a child's jacket, which it was not. Holding it up to myself, it was way oversized on me. I'm a size like small, medium, and this is a size large. So the picture of the person, they looked pretty like lanky and skinny. What I mean by lanky is like skinny and like tall extremities. And so I think it was just them. And I take the time to do measurements and people don't check them. I'm still going to keep doing measurements, but You would think that people would just measure themselves before they buy something, you know? All right, we have this Anthropologie dress, which sold full price. I rarely have full price sales. So when I do, it's very exciting. This is an Anthropologie black satin, ruffle tiered, long sleeve, feminine mini dress, size small. In my description, I put the keywords going out, little black dress, flowy girly event, and party. When I have a black dress that I'm going to list, I always use the keyword little black dress if it is a midi to mini length, because that's the epitome of a little black dress. So I paid $12.50 for this dress. So yes, I did pay up, but I just thought this dress was so cute. I had to get it. And it sold for my full asking price of $45 in only 29 days, which is so good because usually Anthro is a slow mover for me. That makes my profit $21.70. We love to see it. 2 more sales before the end of this video, and I feel like we're making good time. So if you're still here, comment, I don't know, something. Just comment something, right? It helps the algorithm. So this is an Alexa and Stella black sheer gothic witchy long boho fringe kimono cardigan size 3X. In my description, I put the keywords boho costume, whimsy goth, and casual. I got this from the Goodwill outlet for $2. It was the very first thing I put in my cart this day on my bins trip, and it sold for my full asking price of $24 in only 13 days, which blew my mind. I mean, I picked this up for style reasons, but I didn't think it was that desirable. I think it just sold in the right season. I mean, it had a lot of good factors, size 3X, long length. I could put a lot of keywords, which I did. I put gothic, witchy, boho, whimsy goth, keywords, which I really do feel like helped sell it. And my profit $16.24, if I didn't already say. I'm a little scatterbrained. All right, last sale is not a high dollar sale, but I'm mentioning it because it's not a clothing item. And you guys know I really like to talk about the items that are not clothing because they're interesting. So this is a vintage glass bottle, green tint in basket with handle, decorative, large. In my description, actually my husband listed this, so he didn't put any keywords, which is probably why it took a while to sell. I probably could have sold it faster if I put keywords in it because I'm the keyword queen, in my opinion. I definitely want to learn more keywords, but I feel like I just put every single keyword that matches the item and comes to my mind. I don't put irrelevant keywords, but I will load up the keywords. So I only paid $1.50 for this at the thrift store, and it sold for an offer of $12. And I was like, yes, you can have it because this had been listed for 377 days, so more than a year. My profit $7.83, and I did, have to take the time to put a ton of bubble wrap on it. I'm hoping that it makes it to the buyer. I don't know if it's already delivered. I'm hoping it makes it to the buyer in one piece because it would be so sad if it breaks. So hopefully, cross my fingers. But anyway, this day thrifting, when me and my husband picked up this bottle, it was a date night thrift trip. I don't know if I showed this on camera in a haul, but I have a video back on my channel where it's a vlog of me and my husband going thrifting to resell on a date night. And he found this and he thought it would do well. So I'm like, you know what, honey? We'll test it out. And look, he made us $7.83. So not complaining. I do feel like the pictures could have been a little brighter. Maybe he could have actually measured the bottle, the length and the width using a tape measure. But nonetheless, we live and we learn. Happy with this sale and, glad to move out something that has been in my inventory for a while. That is it, you guys, for the sales that we're going to talk about. Glad we made it through. Happy we made it through. Thanks for sticking all the way till the end if you did. And yeah, check out PrimeLister if you are interested because I made 2 sales today on Poshmark, which is a lot for me based on how sales on Poshmark have been. But yeah.
That's it for this what sold video. same as always, but I feel like it's interesting to hear what sold every week. I know I love going through what sold and looking at what keywords I put and going through my numbers. And so I hope that you enjoy it too. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.